What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Polestar. It's been a while since I've done a Polestar video, so I want to go over some of the data points, what's really been influencing it over the last little bit, and where I see things going. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Polestar right now is down 1.29%. Market just opened roughly 15 minutes ago. Very little activity and just very little volume. So just a lot of people aren't really looking at Polestar, and that's apparent based on this as well. So these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000 over the last 90 days. So big money just isn't really paying attention to Polestar. And for those entities that are in Polestar, based on this, it does look like they have been selling out. Not today, of course, but last one was on the 31st, 30th, 29th, 24th. So big money's been kind of selling Polestar based on the latest 13 Fs. So that did all occur up until September the 30th. So in Q3, you have some entities increasing their position, but still nothing really substantial. Even Citadel, so the dreaded Citadel, did increase their puts by 580% and increase their calls by 315. A very common kind of strategy that entities do use, but clearly based on this, it does show that they see a little bit more downside with Polestar, but as of right now, it's just no real catalyst. And them pushing their earnings back is another potential red flag. So I think just Polestar has been riddled with red flags for a while. And I've seen a lot of people comment here and there on old Polestar videos saying, hey, is their earnings coming out this week or next week or something like that? They must have missed the memo because that earnings did get pushed to January. So most likely they'll kind of do a back-to-back kind of event with obviously then's earnings and year end. So it's just not good. So January 16th, why they pushed it back, I don't know. It's just another one of those things that investors can fun speculate based on, and regrettably, based on historical events with Polestar, usually doesn't result in anything positive, of course. And this is the current estimates right now. So 791 million for revenue, negative 15 cents for the earnings per share. So in reality, not all that bad, but it's just no real catalyst. They had a couple of things coming out. So I think they had track day on the 14th, so November the 14th, but like it's just a lot of fluff. So even if you look on social media under Polestar, they just do a lot of just random posts and just trying to hype up their vehicles. Nothing substantial in my opinion. The next like big catalyst was Polestar 3 in the States. They did do PR on November the 1st, but aside from that, it's just been quiet. So demand, where is that? And so essentially, I don't think investors want to wait until January to find out if this is a success or not. So like I said in the past, I think just Wall Street's always really hated Polestar from the beginning, and now they seem to be just doing it to themselves, even despite the new CEO. So you can tell marketing has changed quite a lot. So there is changes happening within Polestar, but as far as right now, nothing really substantial enough for investors to say, hey, I need to stop what I'm doing and buy Polestar. So that's just my own interpretation. Of course, you do whatever floats your boat and all the other fun jazz. As of late, though, shorts haven't really done all that much. So 8.63% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 33.02 million shares. Right now, shorts are returning 254,000 shares. Cost to borrow average 20.6. So that's a little bit lower than, for instance, Friday. Utilization is 80.58. And then short score is 81.35. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. But don't get me wrong, Polestar is all fun and dandy, but it's not a squeeze play. Even though the short score is rather high, only because you need a catalyst. You need a catalyst to really kickstart the buying, and Polestar is not. Like, if anything, they're not transparent to kind of hide negatives. So yeah, it's just, don't get me wrong, I like to analyze this information, but nothing more than that. As far as options, very little volume. That's kind of matching with the common stock. So 2,300 in calls, $80 in puts. of all the options being done so far within the first 30 minutes of the trading day, and this is kind of resemblant as well based on the last couple trading days, 80+% of the sentiment wise is negative. So people are anticipating for it to continue to trend down. And of the most optimistic individuals out there, there seems to be a consensus for it to be above $1.50, and then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $1. Even just looking at the open interest kind of says the exact same thing. So yeah, ultimately just Polestar is, I really like the vehicles, and they've been spending a lot of money over the last year and a half on kind of ramping up their vehicles and really laying a good foundation for them to continue to flourish. But as of late, it's just nobody really wants to buy them. So I think the next possible thing might be coming is another deficiency with the NASDAQ, but that might be a little bit too far-fetched. But as of right now, with it at $1.13, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 107.91 and then 65 cents is going to be the following support levels. And then flip side, $1.59, $1.33, $1.59, and then $1.75 are going to be the next strong target / resistance points for Polestar. But quickly going over to IBKR, this is where you are seeing kind of the breakdown essentially occur over the last 2 trading days. So whether it be shorts or just large entities trying to bring Polestar down, they kind of been flirting with that 100-day moving average right here, but as of Friday, it did break below that, and today seems to be the dagger. You do need 2 consecutive trading days to signal a actual trend. So ultimately, yeah, the trend is starting to be broke as of right now. So it is below all the key data points that I like to look at. Even looking at articles, nobody's really talking about Polestar. A lot of people are just saying, hey, it's oversold. A lot of people just bringing up Tesla, like other EVs, and somehow correlating it with Polestar. So it's just stuck in limbo. Even analysts aren't really paying attention to it. So last ratings did come out 2 months ago, 4 months ago, and with their earnings getting pushed back, there isn't really a reason for anyone to re-rate Polestar. But given the last ratings and everything, you do have a consensus of $1.56, and that does represent a 36.84% upside. But in my opinion, 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗧, the one that was done 8 months ago, $9 price target, that one is really holding it up and skewing the numbers a little bit. Subtract that, it's probably around $1 or pretty much where it is now. So yeah, I think just Polestar is, I like the company, but you have to really think long term if you are getting in on this. So in my opinion, I think it is going to continue to trend down, which is basically what I stated in my last video, which was like 3 weeks ago or something like that. So yeah, I think there is going to be more downside coming, possibly another $1 bid price deficiency with the NASDAQ, but Polestar can easily rectify that. I think they were one of the few EVs that were able to rectify that deficiency naturally without doing a reverse stock split. So that's just my viewpoint on Polestar. Let me know what you think. Are you a buyer at this stage? Are you a seller? Are you dabbling with options? And just generally, what do you think the next big catalyst for Polestar truly is? So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, I did launch a Patreon, so I give buy signals on stocks, crypto, options, absolute massive wins on that kind of page right there. So definitely pop over there, take a look at it, and let me know your thoughts on that. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.